Hello, beautiful family out there. My name is Kristi, and I'm here with my amazing, beautiful business partner, Dedra, and we are the Circle of Alchemy Sisters. And today, we just had a meeting beforehand. I need the energy to open up, and I need to start actually channeling before we even get on air, just to make sure the communication is going to follow. And because we come in with no plan and everything is always spirit led, we wanted to know what we were going to channel about today. We want to know what is best for humanity to hear at this moment, what direction humanity needs to go in to sort of help themselves as much as possible. So we got 3 words about what the show is today, and it is the epic of humanity. So we don't know what that means. We have a couple hints and clues about creation and things like that. So I don't know. We're going for it. No planned. Nothing planned. Like, we're winging it today.
All right.
All right.
Here we go.
Whew.
Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we got the epic of humanity. What is meant by this?
Okay. So I'm just trying to get clear in my head who I'm channeling today. We do have some newbies that have joined us, in the last week or so. So I'm just trying to figure out who I'm channeling. And I feel like what's coming through is that it's a team effort, right? There are certain extraterrestrial races that are really here to help humanity move them forward. And because we have this new Earth contract that we're speakers for the new Earth, we're going to be joined by a lot more extraterrestrial races that are for the epic of humanity, for humanity. So I feel like today I will be channeling sort of a collective of all of the races of extraterrestrials that are here, and it's the whoa good whoa the Galactic Federation, right? So the space travelers is what I'm hearing, that are here to look over this ascension that's happening on Earth. So I'll be speaking a collective of opinions and information from them. Okay. So they're saying, what needs to be known? First, we need to take so much pressure off of you. Okay, and I'm gonna stop. This is a trigger warning. Okay, like I feel very insecure sometimes when we're channeling about religion and about the Bible and things, because I was raised a Christian. My entire family still remains Christian. My partner's family is all Christian. So I am not relaying my opinion here. I am speaking the knowledge that is coming through to me, okay? And I don't want to be attacked because these are not my opinions. This is the information that I'm channeling down from many higher dimensional beings who have authority and opinion on these things, or knowledge, not even opinion, right? So trigger warning, we are going to talk about religion today. We're probably going to talk about the Bible today. We're probably going to talk about how the God that you think exists really doesn't, right? So trigger warning.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's go into it. Okay, and they're saying, first, we want to take the pressure off of humans by letting them know that this vengeful, wrathful, angry, jealous God that they are worshiping, that they are following, is really not the epic source of concentrated energy that you want to connect to. Okay? They're saying that there was a lot of chaos that happened when they're saying Anunnaki, right? Anunnaki visitors from the sky, they came to Earth. There was a group of Anunnaki, all different races, that came down to the Earth. And they came here because your precious metals, your precious metals is what we first saw. And then we discovered that there was so many more minerals here on this planet that we had never seen before. And because we are master geneticists, because we are scientists, because we are interested in learning and evolving and expanding, we wanted to understand what your minerals here on this planet could do for our races, for our planets, for our future. So we came here exploring the land, trying to figure out which precious minerals and organisms, and checking out the life. This was an alien planet to us when we first came here. So we were explorers sent to explore the land. And we came across so many beautifully strange, wonderful, and very mysterious creatures that we had never seen before. And they're showing me dinosaurs. Like, they're showing me dinosaurs, you know, like... There was big, scary creatures here. So they're also saying that we have visited Earth many times, right? But certain times the Earth's energy was too unstable, so we couldn't really do the work that we needed to do. So when we came at this time to finally explore, they're saying the minerals, they're saying that all that had been gone, right? So the dinosaurs are gone. The cataclysms had kind of like calmed down. They knew that Earth had been stable and that these big forceful creatures were no longer around. So that's when they came to, it's time. We're going to go to Earth and we're going to go. So they came here and they were mining for years and years and years. And then it's like part of their army, right? And then now this is all in Billy Carson. Billy Carson teaches all this. I think it's the Sumerian tablets, but I'm just like channeling as they're telling me, okay? So they're saying that they mined for years, but they had their army that they had of miners, their team of miners, that they're workers, and the EGG is coming into my head. So they like were tired, you know, like they're just like, you said we weren't going to be here this long, and like I miss my family, or like, you know, like whatever, you know, they were complaining, right? Mm-hmm. So because they didn't want to lose their workers, you know, they didn't want to lose their team. Like, if anything, they were great leaders and they could lead these creatures that were here on Earth. If we could train these creatures how to work for us, then the EGG, instead of leaving, certain ones could lead and other ones could lead these creatures, right? So it's like they gathered all of the creatures, and they're actually showing me monkey people, like Homo erectus, or I don't know the name. I don't know the names, right? So they're showing me like a group of like evolved-ish monkeys, humans. Mm-hmm. And they were really trying to like train them and communicate with them, and it's like they just couldn't get it. You know, they were still animals. They couldn't communicate back. They couldn't like learn deeper things, right? They weren't smart enough. They were too much of an animal. You know, if they needed them to like pull things and haul things and lift things, that would be okay. But they needed to have broader skills than that. And it just wasn't, they weren't smart enough. Yes.
How did they communicate with them to teach them, or to?
They're saying like symbols, like hand motions, like you would with a monkey, like a chimpanzee.
Mm. Okay.
That's what they're showing me.
Okay.
Do you see it? What is that coming from?
I don't see it.
Okay. Well, keep an eye out. There's a thing on the table, like a light.
Oh, I don't know. It might be a glow from.
I don't know. Okay, so they're saying like think chimpanzees.
Okay.
Right? They're strong and they can learn simple commands, but we needed them to be smarter, more intelligent. So because we're master geneticists, we have been studying and we have been doing science projects for a very, very long time, because we have been here and evolving since source exploded, I don't, either one of those words, on themselves to create the stardust, right? And they're saying because we remember every single one of our lives, we can take the information from life after life after life. We can pick how long we want to live depending on what kind of race we incarnate into. So we have the knowledge that we've had forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, right? So we decided that we wanted to create something that was like a cross between us and them, because then we could lead them, but they would be intelligent, right? So that's what they did. And they're saying it was a lot of science experiments and it was not pretty, right? And they're saying there was a lot of bad karma created for us during those days, because even though we were really trying to do something beautiful, there was a lot of pain and there was a lot of hurt and sorrow and slavery.
So in human years, how long between their when they started to experiment on creating an intelligent species, the cross between the monkey people, because I don't know the correct name for them, to their species, how long of a time before they were successful?
I'm hearing 5 to 7 years.
5 to 7 years before
Yes.
they made successful, intelligent species.
Yes. But that was just, that wasn't the final product. Like, these were sort of trainable robots, right? Like, they were trainable, they were moldable. But then a couple of our geneticists started to go deeper, right? Like, what if we put our magic DNA inside of them, right? Like, what if we give the humans some of our DNA? Like, instead of just giving them our physical DNA, what if we give them some of our, like, good stuff, like the good stuff, right? And so that experimentation started to happen, but I feel like that was hush hush. I feel like it was just something that
they were privately doing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I keep hearing Anki, right? So I feel that's when I'm going to go into the biblical sort of things, Anki and Enlil, right? So Enlil feels they're brothers. They're Anunnaki brothers. This is the story. I also feel like there was groups of Enlil and Anki all over the place. It may have started here, but then it spread, okay? Because they wanted to create more of these beings because they could mine more of them. But I feel like Anki was the main sort of master geneticist, and he handed down his blueprints to the others around, right? But he was the main one. So he was the first one sort of experimenting with this soul, this like DNA activation, like the strand of DNA that we have that is inactive in us. They're inactive only because we don't know how to activate them. But he's the one that put that inside of us so that when we got to certain points in evolution, we would have access to these things, okay? But the whole time it was secret because I feel like Enlil did not want this to happen, okay? Enlil was like, dude, these humans are cool. Like, they listen to me, they worship me, they think I'm a god. Like, they're they just they're so cool, like visitors from the sky, they're our creators, like it was like a cult,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like they just worshipped them. Um I feel like they're showing me Toy Story, the little squeaky things that are in the machine, and they're like, ah, you know,
Yeah.
like that's kind of like what they're showing me, that the human kind that they made was, they just worshipped them and followed them and all this stuff. And Anki was like, this is cruel. I don't like it. I don't feel good about it. Like, and that's why he started like to sort of take them and see if he could bond with them. Like, can I create a relationship with them? Do they have feelings? Do they have love? Like, do they have all this stuff? And Enlo was not a fan. So Anki just like kept his private stuff to himself about bonding with the humans and injecting them with more DNA or whatever. And it eventually came to a place where now they're bringing Isis into the picture, okay? Now Isis to me is a goddess, but I feel like Isis was one of the original Anunnaki. I feel like she was a physical being, and I feel like she was part of their warrior team that came here, and I feel like she was one of the first. She gave birth. It's like they needed her DNA, not just like blood or whatever, but they needed to be in her
Mm-hmm.
so that they could receive the downloads that Anki was trying to accomplish, and they kept trying and they kept trying and they kept trying, and it's like they're still animals. They're still animals. They just don't have this deep connection with anything. So Isis, I feel like volunteered, and I can see like someone in a lab coat. Like I feel like she was just part of this team, right? And maybe her name wasn't Isis back then, but the story is created from an original Anunnaki who gave birth physically to the very first human extraterrestrial hybrid. Okay? And I think from then they could now extract certain aspects of the DNA, and then they could inject it into the human species that they had, and then all of a sudden it's like they could create them in mass quantities. So Anki kept telling Enlil like over and over, like, hey, like, I really want to free the humans. I don't like this slavery. Like, I have this plan. Like, I have this thing, and we can like make them like us, and they can have souls, and then they can start reproducing, and they can start raising their children, and they can do all these things. We can teach them so much more if you just let me try it. Like, I've done this experiment. I've done it. It works. I have subjects. And Enlil was like, don't even think about it. It's fine the way it is. And they're brothers, and I feel like Enlil just really he has this authority, right? He has this, and I feel like, now I don't want to offend anyone, but I feel like Enlil maybe was trying to prove himself to his father a lot. I feel like Enlil really wanted to just prove that I am a strong man and I can do this, dad. Like human shit. Like I feel like Enlil had some daddy issues. Okay. And I feel like Anki was maybe the golden child. Like,
Is it important for us to know who his father was?
He no, they're not giving me any
Okay.
information
Okay.
about it
Okay.
because I don't know why.
Okay.
No.
All right.
So yeah, Enlil did not want to free the humans. Anki wanted to free the humans, and then eventually Anki just, because he's like, my brother's not king. Like, he just pretends he is. Like, we're brothers. We have just as much. We came here together. Like, we were sent here by dad together. We have the equal power. Like,
Was his dad like a part of like a like of in charge of sending them places? Like, was he in some kind of leadership role?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know the story about that. I don't know the history about that, and they're not giving me anything about that. I do keep hearing the words Amun Ra, Amun Ra, Amun Ra, and I don't know what that means. I know that that's Egyptian, but I don't know how it connects. Okay? And Enkidu, I think maybe was the father's name. So do what you will with those two names, but that's all they're giving me.
Okay.
So, okay, they're saying that Anki finally was like, dude, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I have my own like group of like humans over here. They're showing me like two different castles, two different empires, two different, like Enlil has his little cronies over here that he rules, and I feel like there's like chaos and like yucky stuff going on over here, and Anki and his little quietness and his secretiveness has now created sort of like this little Eden, right? Garden of Eden, where there's like peace and there's like love and like we all understand each other and we're all loving each other, but yeah, okay, so I'm gonna stop there and I'm gonna see where we can bring in biblical things, okay? So now we're gonna start comparing Enki and Enlil to sort of God and the devil in the Bible, right? Enlil likes to rule with an iron fist. He likes to keep his humans under control. He is an angry and vengeful and wrathful God. Enki wanted to free the humans and let them know that there was so much more to them than what was going on over there. Like, no, you are beautiful creatures and you were created out of love and compassion and kindness. Like, we don't have to live like them over there. We can live like us over here, right? So that's the snake in the Garden of Eden making Eve eat the apple. He's giving her all of this knowledge, like, you guys are so much more powerful than you understand. We've created you. You don't have to be slaves. Like, you can be free, and Anki sort of started ruling his kingdom. Now he's the one in charge, but they trust him, because he's loving and he's kind and he's fair, and he's telling them all of these things and they have all this peace. It's the Garden of Eden. It's, like peace, right? And then we have Enlil over here who has created this domination, right? This domination. Now, they're bringing in the tablets. They're saying, like, this is all written down. It's all knowledge that has been written down. But the humans have taken this knowledge from all these different sources and put them together in a book of what is essentially human control. And they're saying there's just far too much pressure to live under the standards that this angry, wrathful, vengeful God has placed upon humans, And they're saying, and that's when the New Testament comes into play, right? We were just speaking of the Old Testament, and now we're speaking of the New Testament, where we bring in the Christ child, right? And they're saying the Christ child was simply a story that was describing what each and every one of you star seeds are here to do, and that is spread the message of Christ consciousness. The same message that Anki was trying to spread in the Garden of Eden is the same message that we are sending in with the Christ child, that we are sending in with all the star seeds placed around the planet right now. Here to just let you know that there is so much more to this life, to this experience, than what is held in, 3,000 pages. You are so much more than what this book is telling you that you are. again, trigger warning, like, right? I don't want to talk bad. If you are a Christian and you believe in the Bible, I am not talking down on you. I am channeling.
No, for sure. But it's accurate information. I never felt more pressured than I did whenever I was in Christianity. When I was stuck in religion.
Being told that you're born imperfect.
Mm-hmm.
You're born a sinner.
Yes.
If I'm born a sinner, then what am I going to do with the rest of my life? I'm just going to keep creating this. And how am I supposed to get to heaven if I'm born this way?
I never felt more doubt
Yes.
than I did in Christianity.
All the time.
I never thought I prayed enough for forgiveness. I thought everything I did was a sin.
I thought I was going to hell for cussing.
Yes.
Like, I thought I was everything, everything, every day. And even as an adult and as a Christian, you have that confidence. I know where I'm going when I die. I know where I'm going, right? But deep inside, you're like, am I really going?
Yes.
Am I really going?
And then you have people showing up at your door, like, you know, the like specific people from churches will go door knocking.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call them, but anyways, they spread the message. And as soon as you open the door, do you know where you're going when you die? It's like the first question they ask.
I thought I did.
And oh my gosh, it was like I'm faced with it every day. I'm like, am I really even, like, where am I gonna go? Like, it just never felt like you were a good enough person.
Yeah. And I thought what I had was a beautiful relationship with God. Like, I really did, like, oh my God, some of the things that I thought, like, literally every time I cussed or say your name in vain, saying the name in vain, you know, like, or anything, sex before marriage, like, getting divorced, like, I'm going to hell. I know it, but I love you, God. I love you, God. Please don't send me to hell. Please don't send me to hell, right? Like, so it's so scary. It's so scary. And maybe I didn't understand Christianity the right way. Maybe there's another way to live in Christianity that's not so fearful. Mm-hmm. And again, I am not here to tell anybody what to believe.
Right.
I'm a channel, and I'm bringing information through from the other side, yes. Right? But I'm not knocking religion. If it makes you feel good, if it makes you feel happy, if it fills you up and brings you joy, and you honestly are living a healthy life, mm-hmm. where you're facing your fears and you're facing your shadows and you're not living in your trauma and you're not begging God to save you every single day, then I say do whatever you need to do, right? But when I broke free from that, I knew that I didn't have to beg God to save me because I was God. I came from God.
Yes, yes.
Like, I made in our own image, meaning, like, I'm made in God's image. I'm made in God's image. I have all the powers that God has. I have all the love and strength and everything that God has. So that means that I am God and I can create my own world. Because that's what I'm here for.
Right.
To experience life through God's eyes, right? God is perfection. Unconditional perfection. And he, she, they, them wanted to know, like, I want to feel things, you know? Right. And that's what we do on the other side. When we cross over to the other side, it's like, oh, everything is perfect. That's why we decide to learn as much as we possibly can in this earth life, because we want to experience things that are not perfection. I want to grow to this perfect place. I don't want to just exist in it.
Right.
Because that's boring.
Yes.
I want to grow and I want to expand and I want to learn, right? So let's get back to the creation story. They're saying, like, eventually, and they're saying, no, please continue. We were fully enjoying, but something popped in my head and I wanted to talk about it. And now it's gone. So they're saying, like, keep going. It's so beautiful, the way that you think and the way that you feel, the way that you feel freedom now, right? Whereas before it was, I'm going to the altar and I'm on my knees and I'm crying because my life is out of control and I'm just begging God to save me. Save me. Save me. You know, and then he doesn't save you, you know, and you think, I'm not worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Not worthy. I'm not worthy, you know?
Yeah, why is it some people are speaking in tongues and feel like they have this wonderful experience? Like, what are they doing so right and I'm doing so wrong? And, I always felt like something was missing. I always felt unfulfilled, always felt like, what is wrong with me that I can't connect to this Bible, that I can't connect to what I've been taught my whole life. I just feel like that wasn't meant for me. I was being kept in this small little bubble, and I was like feeling like, oh my God, this isn't right. This doesn't resonate with my soul.
It's the curse of the starseed. We just don't feel it as
Yeah.
much as I tried. I tried so hard. I
Yeah.
tried, you know?
Yes.
And now, the way that I feel about God, I am so tight,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because we exist as one.
Mm-hmm.
They are in me. You know, that's my soul. That's my higher self. That's the thing that I teach the most, to like get in touch with your higher self and learn how to get in touch with your higher self and how to communicate in a higher way and bringing forward that Christ consciousness, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're all God inside of us, right? And we're all sent here to do exactly what Jesus was doing, right? Mm-hmm. To spread the message of unconditional love. And unfortunately, that book that was created to keep us in line and keep us in control creates a narrative about people like us that we're actually in tune with the devil, the demons. Witchcraft is evil. But I can assure you that your Christ child participated in witchcraft. Did he not speak things into existence? Did he not create water out of wine? Like, he lived engulfed in this beautiful energy that was placed here on earth just for us.
He used crystals.
Yes. He went to Egypt and studied Reiki. He was a Reiki master. Yeshua, and now we're going to get into like a discussion where I think that some people think that Jesus was one person and Yeshua was another person. But if you go back and you actually study your Bible and how it was created and how it was written and where the information comes from, and then you expand and you read Sumerian tablets and you read the Emerald tablets and you read all these other tablets, you'll understand that Yeshua was in fact whom we called Jesus, right? And in fact, the letter J did not even exist until like 200 years ago. So there was no way that Jesus, who lived 2,000 years ago, had the name Jesus. The J in the Hebrew language did not exist, right? So Yeshua makes a lot more sense. It just makes a lot more sense, and Yeshua translates into Joshua, I think, is what the English translation is. So there's just a lot of things that were mistranslated, and us as humans, we've just believed it. It's like this big book of, it's like they took every single fairy tale that ever existed and combined it into one book, and we're supposed to live by it. And we wonder why it's impossible. You know, like my grandmother, who lived by the Bible, wasn't perfect and still sinned every single day. How as a normal human am I supposed to live up to that? She was a beautiful human being who lived every single day in God, in the Bible, but still sinned every day. Like, that is a lot to compete with, right? You know, how am I ever supposed to feel worthy enough of God accepting me into heaven if I can't keep up with the most heavenly person I know, you know? How? It's too much stress. It's too much pressure, you know? So what the message is today is just like, let yourself kind of relax into the fact that God is unconditional. Source is unconditional. When you cross over, your life is not done. your physical life as Dedra, the life you're living right now, that physical life is done. But you're also leaving an echo of Dedra with you in place of you on this earth that your ancestors can connect to, right? The people we leave behind, they're left behind with an echo, a highly evolved echo of our spirit. Your ears ringing? I love it. So, God doesn't throw you away, no matter what you've done. This is a recycle bin, right? This is not a trash bin. This is a recycle bin. We just recycle over and over and over again. And as many lives as it takes for us to figure out how to be the closest to source that we can, that's the point of evolution, of learning the higher dimensional ways. Like every high dimensional being is literally trying to get as close to source as they possibly can, right? But we do also have these these physical beings who are warriors here to help us live on earth in the correct way, right? Like there's two sort of agendas going on, right? Like we're all trying to get to source. All of us are trying to get as close as we can to source. But in getting close to source, we're also here helping humans evolve. That's part of us getting close to source. You know, we're saving what was once created under false pretenses. The karma that was created when humans were created, we're here now to make up for that, right? Like, we're here to finally end slavery on earth. We started slavery, and it is still continuing to this day all over your planet. And we are here to usher in that fifth dimensional energy that will release the chains that are upon humanity, right? There's like, if all of us sort of, and they're saying that it only takes like one fifth dimensional person to ignite 100, right? The butterfly effect.
Wow.
So let's say I'm fifth dimensional. I come to you. You become fifth dimensional. You go to them. They become fifth dimensional. I'm still here. So I'm still touching people. Ding, ding. And now you're touching people. Ding, ding. And they're touching people. Ding, ding. Right? Like hundreds of thousands of people can be freed from these chains by just one person simply becoming fifth dimensional.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's like spreading faster than the coronavirus, right? Like we can be the virus instead of like the third dimension, the ugly, the chains, the slavery, the trafficking, the drugs, the addictions. Don't let that be the virus.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because they're saying like the dark energy doesn't penetrate nearly as fast as the light. Like it would take someone who was enslaved and angry and sad and living in these yucky emotions. That person could not ignite 100 people as fast as the fifth dimensional person could. You know, he would be like, have to rub and rub and rub and rub and rub and rub and rub, and then finally, I'm there. Okay, it would take a long time. But this fifth dimensional, as soon as we ignite people, like I see it in my readings all the time. When I'm doing readings, the things that I'm telling people, I can literally, it's almost like I see, you know, like on Men in Black, where he blinks one set of eyelids and then they blink another completely set of eyes. That's how I feel in my readings. To like watch someone be like, oh, I got it. Like, I got it. I understand. Everything makes so much more sense. That's that fifth dimensional bing awakening, right? Now, in the next 6 months after waking up being fifth dimensional, your life is completely going to fall apart. So I know that fifth dimensional is a great way to be, but I know that getting there is almost hell on earth because you have to release every single thing that is not for you, not working for you, have been holding you down, not allowing you to evolve, and that's basically everything you've ever known.
Right.
So, although fifth dimensional behavior and thinking is where we want to live, the energy of where we want to live, once you're ignited, your life is going to start changing. It really is, And once you start making deals with gods and goddesses, your life is going to start changing, right? They don't play around. Like if you honestly ask Jesus or Yeshua to come into your life and transform your life, but you don't go with what he's sending you, like that's your fault, right? If you ask for patience, you're not going to get magically cured of patience. You're going to be blessed with a lot of situations that allow you to develop your patience, right? We're not here, the ascended masters and the gods and the goddesses, and they're not here to create magic out of you, right? They're here to allow you to create magic out of yourself. Don't expect magic to happen when you're asking these entities to come in and help you, right? Like Jesus will not change your life. He will not make you a different person overnight. You are the person who does that. Jesus is your inspiration. Jesus is the one sending these situations into your life to help you transform. So yes, Jesus will save your life, but it's through your own personal transformation that you have gotten there. You can't evolve as a spirit. It's like raising children. Think of it that way. Like if I keep doing everything for my child and they never have to do anything for themselves, how are they going to develop into the person they need to be? That's what God's here to do. That's what Jesus is here to do. That's what the gods and the goddesses are here to do, is to transform you in your natural progression. Like you have to do it yourself. You have to do it yourself. I love you. And I'll be there for you when you fall and you skin your knee. Like, I'm going to be there for you. But I'm also going to send in rain and thunder and lightning so that you can develop into this beautiful, wonderful human being, this warrior that you're really here for. You're not here to just pay bills and die. You're here to accomplish something. But you got to let all this nasty shit go before you can come into this world. So fifth dimensional thinking is what they're here to say, but allow the transformation to happen. Do not get stuck in the transformation because it will happen. Awesome. It is going to happen.
I absolutely can testify to that.
Yeah, we all can. I mean, when I woke up 3 years ago compared to now, my life is 180 degrees difference. Like when I look at pictures of myself from a year ago, I look completely different. That is, who is that?
Yeah.
Like, who is that?
Yes. Same.
Yeah.
I do that too.
Okay, so here's what happened. This is really funny. Like, I was living in my camper. We were traveling. So I was living in my camper, and this was before I was awakened, right? Living in my camper. After I become awakened and live life as an awakened human for a year and a half or so, we decide we're going to move back into our camper, right? Just like the way the decorations were in the house, I was like, who was this woman living here? Modern farmhouse. Like, I have cows all over my walls. Like, now I have like women and goddesses and aliens, like everywhere. So just like walking into that camper after my spiritual evolution, I was like, ugh. Who is this?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything like that. Like you can see things materially because I've never been the decorative type. I've never. Mm-hmm. But I get to, my way of living has definitely changed. Mm-hmm. And I can, like, people will meet me, like a couple people I met like a few years ago will see me now. They're like, oh my God, you have changed. Yes. Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. My sister's like, I don't even recognize you anymore. Yeah. And I'm like, Thank you.
That's exactly what I wanted.
Yes. I'm like, I love that because no way do I want to be who I was years ago.
No, living in our trauma.
Mm-hmm.
and freeing yourself from that trauma.
Yeah. And they always say, like, you're a beautiful person. And, like, you're so different. And
you're so different.
You've grown so much. I can see it. And that is the acknowledgement that I appreciate. But let's go back to, like, the conversation you were having about star seeds. Is there a difference between star seeds, earth angels, light workers, or is it just a combination of names to describe one type of person? Or
starseed, light workers, starseeds, light workers,
earth angels?
all the same.
All the same?
Just different human terms.
Yes. Okay. Are they is everybody one?
At this time there are many. Like, I'd say you would find probably, I'm trying to figure out the number. They keep changing it. It's like 1, 2, 3 out of 10. So 7 of them would be light workers, but unaware.
Okay.
Not everyone is aware.
So will a lot of them not wake up?
And some of them are not supposed to.
So they could be a star seed,
the energy.
Oh, just so they can carry the energy, but just not even know it.
So yes, I did a reading the other day, and this was I usually come in like, boom, pumped full of you're a star seed and you're here and blah 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 rah rah rah, all this stuff, like very energetic, right? And I came into this reading knowing she was a star seed, but like I didn't feel any trauma. I didn't feel any like crazy wild energy. I didn't feel anything. And through the reading, we figured out that she's here to anchor in energy, right? She's just an anchor. She's not here to my throat. She's not here to like create this massive change. Like, all of us starseeds are here to like boom, move forward like a ram, and we go forward and we create change everywhere we go and create chaos everywhere we go. There are certain starseeds who are here, who are actually just like here to anchor in this energy. You know, also in most readings, I'm here trying to teach people how to live in the fifth dimensional energy, and she just existed in it naturally. She didn't have to try. She's not a spirit. She doesn't have this knowledge. She hasn't studied this sort of thing, but she was literally just naturally living in fifth dimensional energy, being a ground.
That would be
That's
ideal.
The life you want to live next time.
That would be ideal. So what is the difference between the ones that are just here just to be naturally who they are without even
personal
realizing?
Choice. Before you come down, it's personal choice.
So, well, okay, so personal choice, but like, why?
Why?
That's not the question. That's not the question. Cancel, clear, delete. Not the question. What is I hate whenever I don't prepare for these questions because I'm trying to get it clear in my head of how I want to ask it. The journey between an unaware starseed and an aware starseed, like the ones that are here to make that big boom and stuff, do they have more of a more defined mission?
Awareness. Yes. The ones who are here to create chaos, like like us. We're here to create chaos, right? So it's more likely that we're going to like wake up and know it. What was the question?
Do we have a more defined mission? Is there more of a purpose for all the things that we go through?
Awakening is the purpose of you starseeds. Holding energy is another purpose of another starseed. Creating connections is another purpose of another starseed, right? So they're all here to create different energies, but we all like combine together. You know, like our group, like some people are here to create radical change and others are here to just hold the hands of those people and spread that energy to others, right? Like just touch and spread, right? That's what other starseeds are here to do. So there's a collective group of starseeds that are here to just do different things, and not all of them are aware, but there are certain ones who are really supposed to wake up and create this radical change. Others are is dust. And I was like, orb.
You can't get over that now.
No, we got one video with that one orb, and now I'm like obsessed. So yeah, every starseed has its own mission, and they're not all here to create chaos.
Okay, so the anchors. I know that we have a group of anchors here. What is their mission? I guess, like, what is the purpose of having an anchor?
To anchor in the fifth dimensional energy that is coming into the earth, to anchor it in, to ground it in. These anchors are very grounded. They're very connected. Just naturally, not even having to try with fifth dimensional energy. So they're very calm, they're very easygoing, they know right from wrong, they always make the right sort of choices. Like, obviously, they doubt themselves and they've made a couple wrong past decisions, but they've learned to just really go forward in their intuition. And they're just very grounded. So naturally inclined to just choose fifth dimensional behavior by just natural, right? And so, like, they're holding that energy so that the rest of us can go and explode it all over the place. You have to have a ground. Electricity, like, gotta have a ground. Anchor it in.
Can you have both in one person?
I don't feel like no. No, that would be a very confused person. You would not know how to behave if you were both. I mean, I feel like maybe you came in your beginning of your life to be a ground, and then okay, you could have life phases. Yes, you could do that, but not at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else that they feel is important for humanity to know right now?
They're saying we feel like we did not get to really finish the whole epic of humanity, but we feel like we want to save that for another episode.
Okay.
We want to continue this. We feel like humans deserve to know their history, their human history. And we do have to also let you know a lot of your human history is buried within your ground. It's buried within your ground. It's underneath a lot of ice. It's underneath your oceans. There is so much human history that you are not aware of yet. And it might be impossible to actually find some ancient sites because the pole shift that happened, right? Like there's certain things that are buried hundreds of feet underground, right? And you would never know that they're there, right? They're saying, like, look at the Amazon. There are pyramids just existing in the Amazon that they're finding now that aren't even buried. They're just grown up by weeds. And then once you start pulling the weeds away, you see there's this giant pyramid. Like, where the hell did this thing come from, you know? So they're saying in the near future, there will be lots of ancient sites discovered. And they're saying, to answer your question about this week, the psychics that are predicting ships in the skies to be seen, they're saying we're already there. We're already there. We're already being seen. There are thousands of humans who see ships and UFOs on a daily basis. UFOs, USOs, they're saying don't pay so much attention to the USOs. I feel like the USOs have a lot. The underwater ones. I feel like a lot of that is sort of governmental. I don't. There might be like meeting areas and stuff like under the seas, but I feel like most of the USOs are probably our own,
Okay.
Our own secret technology that they don't want people to find. But keep an eye out in the skies, you know, and just talk to the stars. They're saying, like, we're there. We're there. We can hear you. We can hear your calls. We can hear your cries. Like, we're very tuned into the human energy. We understand lots of us have incarnated as humans before. So we do have the experience and the knowledge of what it feels like. And again, we remember our lives. It's something, the earth energy that we exist in when we're born into earth, there's a cloud, and we're not able to remember our past lives. We do have like, we'll have like visions and memory recalls or dreams of our past lives, but as humans, we're programmed to not to remember our past lives, because we wouldn't be able to effectively learn as much as we needed to learn if we came in with previous knowledge. So that's all they want to say for today. They're saying it was lovely, lovely to be here. As usual, ladies, I appreciate the work you are doing for humanity. I appreciate the work you are doing for yourselves. And I appreciate your listeners and the work and the questioning that they have. They're wondering and deepening themselves with every episode. It is really useful, and seeds. We're planting seeds, and that's what we're here to do. We're not here to convince anybody of anything. We're not here to create a cult. We're here to just plant seeds. Just plant those seeds, and you figure out what you believe from there, right? Do some history, do some studying, do some digging. Don't just believe what you've been told. Do the work and and face your fears.
Yeah.
And face your traumas, and stop trying to put them down. And I feel like I just summed up every single one of our episodes, right? Like, that's what we're just trying to teach people, is to just like stop living enslaved. You are not a slave. You are not a slave to yourself. You're not a slave to your perpetrators. You're not a slave to God. You're not a slave to humanity. You're not a slave. You can be free, but you got to unlock the chains yourself.
Okay. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Thank you. All right. Is that it?
I think that's it.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Have a wonderful day. Bye.